Hey guys, this is Delisha. I wanted to record my glow up journey. Essentially, I wanted to keep this as authentic as possible, showing how I look in my most natural state. I just wanted to take you guys along this journey with me. I've picked out a few topics that I think would be good to kind of showcase how I started and where I'm gonna end up over the next few months. I essentially decided to start working out and start eating better and changing wardrobe, working on my skincare, literally anything I can think of. I just want to take you guys on this journey with me. Hopefully it'll inspire someone or not. So yeah, let's go on this glow up journey. Okay, so I'll say that the first point of, I guess, any sort of self-improvement is the mentality to do it. I can't honestly say that I had any particular motivation. Like, oh, I want to be this skinny or look like this person or anything like that. That was not the case for my brain. I guess physically, I wanted to stop looking pregnant because I did, which I think honestly is more of a diet thing than it is like an exercise thing, because I have a lot of health conditions. So I'm pretty sure that it's more my intestines being irritated and causing bloating from just the irritation more than me being unfit. Not that I'm not unfit, I am, and I'm working on it. But I guess my mentality for starting this change is I just want new. I'm sick of the same constant thing that I have going, which is work, sleep, eat, sit on the couch. Like, it's boring. It's boring. I think it's something that gets me outside, for one. And I'm not doing it just physically, like not just exercise and diet and everything. It's like an overall life change, essentially. That's including like education and relationships with people, whether that's friends or like romantically or anything like that. Just trying to change it all. I guess I could say this journey started, honestly, back in January of 2019. That's when me and my boyfriend at the time moved to Arizona from Pittsburgh. I chose Phoenix solely because it was warm. That's essentially it. I hadn't really spent a lot of time out here ever before picking here. So we moved out here in January, and I like it. I do. Compared to Pittsburgh, the heat in the summer is a lot. It is, but it's still nowhere near as damaging to me as the cold is. So when people ask me, why'd you move to Phoenix? I just say I want to change. So I've honestly been working on this change thing for a while. So now I am single and trying to just self-improve, essentially, and not necessarily to get another relationship or anything like that. Just truly just working on me the way that I had wanted to, essentially, when we first moved here, and just never did. And now I am on this journey and actually pretty happy with it, with where I've started. So again, mentality, You kind of just gotta have the drive. If you don't have the drive for it, you're not gonna do the change. I had been constantly thinking over and over again over the past few months, like, I'm really gaining some weight, should probably work on that. And then it was just like, yeah, I'll get to it. And maybe at one point I had went to the gym that's at my apartment complex, and I was like, this sucks, I'm not doing this. And then called it a good 2-3 months, and it just kept growing. And not to say that I was huge or anything like that, but getting to the point where I was the heaviest I've ever been. And I knew that it's like, if I don't do something about it now, it's just going to keep getting worse. So I just kind of like a switch went off essentially, and was like, I did my research on the different gyms in my area and just kind of what sort of different workout, like types of workouts would be good for me with all the health issues that I have, because I know that I couldn't strain myself too much, otherwise I wouldn't continue it because of the pain, and I didn't want that to deter me from doing anything at all. So I did my research, figured Pilates, yoga would essentially be a good place for me to start, and then kind of just go from there, and then just find gyms or places that had yoga or Pilates as an option to try, and just attend a class here or there. And I picked out all of that information and then never went, and kind of sat on that again for a few more months, and that's just essentially where I was at for a while. I'm a nurse, and I do home health care. One of my patients also has a family care person who was present at the time that I was working with my patient the one time, and we were just talking when we were there, and she actually invited me to a Pilates class that was the next day. So I was like, okay, I'll think about it, because I had, again, did my research and figured that it would be a good place to start. What really got me is that she was like, it's like $10, and when honestly other classes are like $50, $40 if you have like a membership. She's like, it's $10, just stop in, see if you like it, see how it goes, then go from there. Without her invitation, I honestly probably wouldn't even have started this journey officially, because I didn't even know that drop-ins to classes were a thing. I didn't know that. So I'm glad that she gave me that information. So I went to the class, and it was a hot Pilates class, which again, didn't even know what that was. And let me tell you, it was so intense. It was so intense. I felt so out of place. I tried to keep up. I couldn't. The room was, I think they say around like 102 degrees, purposely. So you're meant to sweat as soon as you walk in the room. They did a lot of, I wouldn't say that the poses were honestly that advanced. Maybe they were, I'm not sure. I'd say they probably were middle of the road. But that, on top of the heat in the room, and I'm very temperature sensitive, just in general, I couldn't keep up. I don't drink enough water. I still don't drink enough water to even attempt to do the class now that it's been a few months. I didn't drink enough water. I felt super lightheaded, super dizzy, wanted to pass out, but I wanted to keep going because I didn't want to be that person in the class who was not doing anything. But I knew my limits, so I sat down a lot. And it felt kind of embarrassing because literally they'd be doing a pose where everyone's standing up and got their arms in the air, legs in the air, doing whatever, and I'm sitting on the ground because I can't breathe. And I was like, this sucks. Yeah, and it's embarrassing that I can't keep up, even with the things that I know for a fact that I'd be able to do, probably had I drank water, ate properly, and the room wasn't 102 degrees. Like, I'd probably be like, oh, I could probably definitely do this in another circumstance. So we left the class. Was very happy she invited me to that, because the few days after that, I felt it. The stuff that I did manage to pull off. It was a lot, but I liked the way that it felt. The soreness of it, not that I like being sore, but the fact that the soreness was because I was doing something to help me. So because of that class that she invited me to, I was like, I can't handle that heat. I already know that. So I'm definitely not going to look for anything like that again. So I just started looking around on Google for studios around me that offered free classes or drop-in classes for cheap or anything like that. So it's like, maybe that one's just not the one for me. And that's, I think, the ticket. You have to recognize that, hey, this is a form of exercise, but this one in particular is not for me. You just got to tweak it until you get what's right for you. So in doing that, I found a few free classes that were around me. The same studio that did the hot Pilates, they had a hot yoga that was free. That one you didn't even have to pay for at all the following week. So I just signed up for that, but that one was more of a beginner class, so the room was nowhere near as hot. It was still heated, but it was nowhere near as hot as the Pilates one. And I attended that on my own. And even then, I was still out of breath, still sitting down a lot more than everyone else. But the change in temperature and just the pace, the fact that it was specifically for beginners, helped me out a lot, because I knew that I'm not on an advanced level at all. And that's fine. I just had to recognize what my limits are, so that I didn't put myself in a position where I wouldn't want to do anything at all. That's not where I wanted to be. But even that, I was just like, heated classes, they're just not for me. So I looked at even more places, and there was a Pilates studio down the street from my house, so much closer than the other studio was. They offered your first class free. So you come in and just join in, and I was expecting it to be another mat Pilates class. So I bought a yoga mat with the mentality that I'm going to stick to this. So I'm going to need my own mat, and did my Amazon research. So I came to the Pilates class with my mat, expecting to do more mat things like I did in the first class. And no, there's no mats. Apparently, official Pilates, original Pilates, is on a machine called the Reformer, and it uses essentially your weight, your counter weight, to work on your muscles. It's a whole thing. Not an expert at all. Look it up. Do your own research on that. But it's called Reformer Pilates, or just original Pilates. The other ones are specifically mat Pilates, so there is a difference. But in that, I thought to myself, okay, well, this is better. This one, it didn't feel more like a workout to me. Like, I didn't feel as sore as I did with the original hot mat Pilates class that I did the first time. So I felt like this isn't working for me. This isn't good for me. Granted, the lack of heat was fantastic, but I didn't feel like I was working out in the way that I wanted to. But I didn't want to give up on my journey there. So I was like, I'll try some more places. And at this point, it had been about 3 weeks in a row where I was essentially working out, going to these free classes. And I was like, okay, I can keep up with this. But we need to find an official class. It's like, maybe if I do Pilates again, I'll be fine. And maybe I just didn't do it right. Maybe it's because it's the first time sort of thing. That's what's throwing me off. And I just kept that mentality that I just haven't found my thing yet. So I thought maybe the next thing is maybe water aerobics. So I started looking up places around me that have water aerobics. as an option, Pilates as an option, yoga as an option. So I figured I just didn't find my class yet. And I just researched gyms around me that kind of offered all three in case I just wanted to switch it up one day. And I settled on Lifetime. So the thing about Lifetime is that they had a free tour where you can just come and see the gym and everything. And I did that and I liked it. Then they also offer you what's called an onboarding session. So you meet with a personal trainer. They kind of talk about what your goals are and things like that, and kind of come up with workout plans for you and do like basically a trial workout session just to see if you like it or not, if you like working with the trainers, or just give you kind of some information about the different equipment that's there for use. So I did that, and that's kind of just like where the click was. In working with the personal trainer, I was like, this is what's going to get me here. Someone who is saying, hey, do this instead of this, and kind of be your motivator. Not that you shouldn't have your own personal motivation. You definitely should. But I think it's different being in the gym when you have somebody else there holding you accountable for what you're doing. So you're not on your phone. You're not just like wandering around. You're not just doing lazy form. Like they're like, no, tone it up, tighten it up. Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's go. And that's what it was for me. It took a personal trainer, even though it was like on the onboarding session, probably about, of the whole hour, 10 minutes, if that, of actual working out. But I was like, this is what I need. And I got the membership at that point because I was like, I like it. I'm here for it. 1000%. This is what I need. And they constantly ask me all the time, like whenever I go past any of the trainers, what's your motivation? What are your goals? And I was like, I don't have particular goals where it's just like, oh, I want to weigh this much, or I want a bigger butt, or anything like that. Because I have a non-existent butt. I just want to stop feeling like shit. Essentially. That's all it is. I just want to stop feeling like shit. And I knew for the longest that I needed to get on a healthier track because my weight was slowly increasing. I could see it, but I wasn't doing anything about it, and now I'm doing something about it. So yes, ultimately I would like to lose probably about 20 pounds. Honestly, don't even know how much I weigh right now. I want to say probably 140. So about 20 pounds would be nice. But mainly, again, stop looking pregnant, which will involve the diet. I know that. That's my main, I guess, physical goals, but ultimately, I just want to be healthier. That's the thing. I just want to be healthier. I'm not a fan of feeling like shit all the time. I'm over it. I'm trying to change it. I'm trying to make things good. So ultimately, you just gotta have the motivation yourself, and you gotta have it from in you, and not because you're trying to look a certain way or because you're trying to appease to a certain group of people or person or whatever. You have to do it because you want to do it, and it takes a lot to get to that state mentally, but I think I'm here for it. I'm ready to get it done. And even starting this YouTube channel, I think, is good. It's part of it. It's helping me. Bringing people on the journey with me, I think for sure will not only motivate me even more to keep going, because it's like I have people watching me now, but I just also think that this is a new chapter in and of itself that is really gonna work out. I think it's gonna, no pun intended. Okay, guys, so that's the first video here on my glow up journey. I'll be posting more updates on this journey for sure, to bring people along with me, to just watch how things go. I didn't want to wear any makeup, do my hair, anything like that. I just wanted to show what I look like now, what I look like honestly 99% of the time. The only time I dress up, put makeup on or anything like that is if I'm going out somewhere, which is honestly never. It's honestly never. So I just wanted to show what I truly look like, and we can see the change together, whether that's with the hair, my skin, my teeth, just my overall body in general, my mentality, see how it changes. Yeah, just wanted to bring you guys along. Alright, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Alright, and subscribe to see this journey, see it through with me. Alright, bye guys.